Hello everyone and welcome back to Margate. We are still unfortunately in the Vanarama South and I've completed the first season. So I want to do a review of last season and also an update in terms of the players that I've brought in and stuff like that. What I'm probably going to do moving forward, just to keep this safe moving and motoring quickly, is to do an update at Christmas and then a full update towards the end of the season, and then once before the season starts, just in terms of so you get 3 updates a season. Just keeps it moving quick, and obviously because I'm not getting tons and tons of hits on it, it keeps it going smoothly. I want to also thank all of my subscribers for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing plenty of snooker videos and all the different types of game videos, so do not worry. I'm not going to be shirking on my responsibilities in that respect. Obviously you go through periods where you prefer one game over another. However, let's crack on. In terms of last season, let me just go to inbox, Vanarama South, and last season. No, that's not right. I've done it wrong. Wait a minute. Few stages. There we go. Last season, Oxford City went up as champions and we fell to 7th position. We won 19 games out of 42. It's about half. And we were very, very close to getting into the playoffs. Incidentally, we lost our last game. We could have finished 6th and be 1 point behind the playoffs. A couple of these games we should have won. We probably should have finished in the playoffs. But in the end, the right team got promoted because Ebbsfleet was very, very good. And, I'm pleased with what we did in our first season. Just looking at the schedule, and we're on there. As you can see, we last did an update on the 3rd of October and had a decent run up to the end of November. Patchy until January, and then unfortunately after January, as you can see here, we had a pretty much a collapse once the FA Trophy was out the way. Then we sort of shaped up towards the end of the season and we picked up a lot of points, which sort of stopped our season from collapsing before losing the game to Bath. I changed the tactics around about this time, which I'm going to show you now. Now, these tactics, again, ignore the players, just look at the tactics. I'm playing like a sort of 4-3-3 wide and all that. So, but anyway, I want to show you more about what I've done in the transfer market. So there's quite a lot of players out. Got 2 players leaving us there, Matt Bevins and Freddie Ladapo. A couple of people who do support them, very positive about those players. But as you can see, if we just go back to there, players out. Wait a minute. As you can see, we've let a lot of players go and we've brought a lot of players in. The big signings, obviously, I've signed Muhammad Ali, the defender, although he hasn't got a work permit. So he's going to have to go out and get experience. I do think, though, that he's probably good enough that by the time he gets a work permit, I might be able to, use him in the future. If it doesn't work, he's earning £100 a week for 2 years. So it's not a bad investment, I don't think, just to keep him away from anybody else. The players who've left, Nicky Bull, a goalkeeper, he's 34, so I thought he could, go on his way. David Hunt, again, was a fairly decent performer for us, and I would never have considered him a starter. Jamie Taylor never played a game for us as far as I know. Yep, didn't play at all. He was surplus to requirements from day one, but I just couldn't get rid of him. Bret Johnson is now moved to Dulwich Hamlet on £210 a week, so he's doing quite well for himself. He played about 20 games and never really did that much for us, unfortunately. So he's moved on. Eric Odiembo, now I wasn't sure about him, and he is a free agent, and he's got Boreham Wood who's interested. Now, Eric was a marginal decision, and it's more to do with who I've brought in rather than who've gone, because as you can see, he played a lot of games for us and did quite well. Any average over 7 is pretty good, and the games he played, he was man of the match a few times. He was probably the one that I wasn't sure about. Nathan Green played a little bit, never really got a chance, so he went on his way. And Charlie Wassemer, again, played a lot of games, did okay, was never the answer in defence. And just in terms of the other players who are leaving, I think they're in here, a bid for Ladapo. Now again, Ladapo He's got good potential. Everything's good on his stats. He's determined, decent fitness. He works hard. No complaints whatsoever. He's actually a decent signing, and he did well for us. He scored, well, I think he scored 11 goals. He scored more than that. Yeah, 6 goals in about 16 games. He was a consistent scorer. At the end of the day, you've got to make a decision, and I decided he had to go, and he's just on his way. He might not go yet. He might refuse. Matt Bevins came in. I like him, and he was a backup, but he started twisting that he wanted to be away, and he wanted first-team football. So unfortunately, he's not going to get first-team football with me, so I'll let him go, and he's moved on. So hopefully he'll be doing better wherever he chooses to go. In terms of the players I've brought in then, let's have a quick shifty through all of them. Ali we've looked at. Sam Besant came up available as a goalkeeper. I believe he's Dave Besant's son, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but he's played all over the place. He was at the Glen Hoddle Academy years and years ago. He used to get lots of good players out of there. Not sure if that's even open now, but he's never really settled anywhere. And you've now got him in a league below where I think he should be playing. So he's now our first choice goalkeeper, and I'm pleased with his signing. Dean O'Halloran, again, aggressive winger, bit of pace, determined, does everything decent, and is going to be a good player for us. And he's played for Fulham and has basically joined us straight from Fulham, so a good player there. Ryan King Elliott is a right back, a young lad, and he's just a one for the future. But I've got quite a few players on a non-contract arrangement when he's one of them that can just slip into the team, come from Palace, and hopefully we can maybe sell him on in the future. Nick Ingram, another player, 18, who's on, I believe, a non-contract agreement. Yeah, so we could lose these players, but at the end of the day, let's see where we can go. He comes from Ipswich. Jacob Marsden, I think, is another one. A young player on a non-contract agreement. Again, is a backup from Ipswich. We'll see how he goes. And Charlie Hayford, same again. All these players straight from Tottenham Hotspur. And Thomas McDermott as well as another goalkeeper. So we're just going to kind of see where they go. Try and coach them. We're paying for coaches. We may as well have players in the system that we can use. Charlie Owens. Now, he's a player who I signed initially as one of the up-and-comers. And then he's actually done really, really well. And is a Northern Irish under-19 international. So he's really good. So he's in the team and he's actually in the squad as well. Grady Diane Garner, I think he's another one. So I've got quite a few of these young players who coming right from like Premiership teams and just sort of sitting in the reserves. They're not actually good enough to get in the team. But anyway, here we're now down to the proper signings here. Now the two main ones, obviously Bessant's a main signing, O'Halloran. Sidney Schmeltz is class. Flair player, good dribbling, great first touch, passing, technique, work rate, flair off the ball, pace and stamina. This kid is our marquee signing of the season, and I'm really excited what he's going to do for us on that left wing, because Nathan Thomas and Adil Youssef have left. They wouldn't re-sign their loan agreements, but one player that did is Lewis Ramsey at right back, 18-year-old, played really well for us last season, as you can see, and is back for another go. So a bit of continuity there. Damien Lathrop, anyway, whatever he is, he's there. Defensive mid, centre mid, ball winning midfielder. Decent, does everything well. Probably not a starter, but he's been playing in Vauxhall National. Did okay at Aldershot, so he's coming down the league. Hopefully be able to do well. Peo Jr. is a poacher, an advanced forward, so I like that because we play one striker. He does everything fairly well, quality player. He's not as good as Joanne Crossdale, who's our first choice striker this season, but he's there and he's a good player for most Vanarama sides. Proper poacher, doesn't really pass much. And we've signed Lionel Stone as a backup central defender. Played at the Conference North for Boston, did very well. Now in terms of, he's actually wanted by Forest Green. Now the only gap that I can see, this is pretty much our starting team, the pretty much gap that I see is obviously O'Halloran might be in there and Tau's still here as well. Lazaru's now on the bench. He did very well for us last season. A lot of big fan of this lad. So that's pretty much where we are with the squad. The only gap that I think I'd love to see a really strong centre half. We've still got Furlong there, but I'd love to see like another Jake Goodman. I really would love to see that. Again, his stats are dropping, but he's still amazing. I want to see another mid centre half. So we're going to have a look at, and again we're losing Bevins and Ladapo. Another tremendous centre half would be brilliant. So let's have a look at attributes. Defensive. We're just going to have a look at the loan market. He's decent, isn't he? But not a lot of shortlist. I'd be trying to get this guy to play up front, but he just will not come. Which is a real disappointment for us. I really, really wanted this lad. He doesn't play centre half, which is a shame because he's very, very good. And so basically we've got scouted players, and if we just go add position, we've still got plenty of options. But just nobody scouted main details. No one who's really... Well, Van der Bogart's an excellent player, but I don't think he'll sign for us. Huh. Well, that's weird. How come I didn't see him? Odd. Just drop these down a bit. Just get these down. Probably happy to sign him for a 2-year contract for 400 quid a week. So, I don't know. How didn't I see him? I don't get how I didn't see him. He's the answer, let's be honest. Right, so we're going to... I'm just thinking, is there any other position? Now, don't forget, we've got these reserve guys, these guys here, who play different positions. So I'm not too fussed about strikers. We've got Ladapo's going. That's probably the one position, a striker, that we need somebody else. We've got P.O. Jr. We've got O'Halloran can play there. We're probably light on a very young striker. So let's just have a scout for a really young striker from our scouted one. Christian Jolly still wants to, but he's on his way, unfortunately. Who's he playing for now? No, he's not. He's not. So oops, Daisy, keep pressing the wrong button there. Sorry about that. Oliver Bennett could be. He's not an actual. Might just have a look at the youngsters here. Maybe Max Leach. Well, he's actually pretty decent, isn't he? £5,000 compensation. I can't really afford that. Jordan Young. I wish I could get Rowan. I really wish I could sign him. But it just looks like it's not going to happen. Baboose. Sign for 240 maybe? Yeah. He'll do. Just as a kind of a squad guy. Right, let's go for a live com, guys. We've got the team sorted, as you can see. Callum Driver, Leon Stowe, but hopefully we'll get that Van der Babel. And then we've got everybody else pretty much where we want. Bywater's back. We've got Owens there. We've also got Salomon Tau still in the team, and he'll be in the team once it's back, instead of probably Lathorpe. And then we've also got Dino Halloran that'll be probably on the right wing, fighting it out with Bywater, whoever's playing well there. So a nice bit of competition. Right, let's go for a friendly, and we'll play this game, and then we'll call it a day and be back in. I'm going to try and get an update. Maybe, you see, the problem is I'm playing quite a lot of it, and I don't want it to kind of flood my channel. I don't have the True Footy Manager channel anymore. But we'll try and keep it going. So here we go. Short updates if possible. I know this will last maybe 15 minutes by the time we get sorted. So So I'm really hopeful that this is going to be a promotion season because I've got all the targets that I wanted, got rid of the players I didn't want, and signed a few that I really am surprised that I managed to get. Schmelz is a player that I'm dead excited about for this season. Again, lots of new players. I think maybe 7 or 8 new first team players, so it's going to take time for them to bed in. Driver, good cross. And I do want to see Taylor Crossdale, who I nearly sold, but I couldn't get anyone as good as him, and he is going to be the starting striker for this season. That's a good... Oh, no, Bustella's made a foul, so it's going to be a penalty. That's a big disappointment. So Besson's first test, and he's saved it. Do get a lot of missed penalties, I've noticed, on this game. Lazarou saved 2 in one game at the end of last season. In fact, the last 3 penalties that have been against me, we've saved them all. Oh, and Crossdale's defeated him, but a good recovery by Muscat, the defender. Great, in fact, it's a great recovery. So again, the result's not so important here. Obersteller's snapping everybody at the minute, so I might have to look at making a change. Good finish by Lawson. So not a great start by us here. And we'll take an own goal off Hamilton, unfortunately. Is that a... Now you see, he didn't really have any pressure on here. Good cross by Allen, right down the middle, but unfortunately he just headed it straight. It was a good finish. Oh, what's he doing? Driver, son. Oh, what's he doing as well? This is a comedy of errors. Good save. Great save. Point blank reflex save from Besant right on the line. And another good save. Just a passionate team talk right before half time. Just get them through to half time. That's not too bad. Just encourage the lads. I'm going to make a couple of changes. Charlie Owens for Charlie Allen. Peo Jr. for Crossdale. And Ramsey for Driver. Ramsey for Oversteller. And then swap him with Driver. And then send them out happily. 3 changes. So Junior with his first chance to shine. And another good save by Besant. Storm with a questionable challenge here, which I think should have been a foul, if I'm honest. So Goodman's tired, so he's going to come off for Furlong. That's got to be offside. Well, it wasn't, but I don't know how. Let's try and just attack a little bit more, see if that works. Good ball to Bywater. Good cross, but Jaeger's there. Nice ball again. Good football. Good football. Nice move. Oh, looks like Lathorpe's going to get sent off. So it's disappointing to get a red card in the first friendly, but hopefully they won't put the papers in the FA. Good ball, Schmelz. Oh, and it was going for the corner. He just felt maybe he had enough time just to set himself. Got great stats. Can we just nick this right at the end? Ooh, Schmelz again with a good chance, but Winter did well. Last chance saloon to see if we can get the winner. Doesn't really matter. Oh, and a big save by Winter in goal. That's going to be, I think that's going to be it. A couple of players are feeling the pre-season heat already. And that's it, full time. So guys, that is going to be it. Let's see if Ali gets his work permit. So Bevins has gone to Barrow. Damn. I really need to loan him for a loan, if possible. Right. Also, before we go, I want to have a look at the friendlies. Don't really have many, do I? Maybe fit another one in midweek between the next game. There. Home. Go away, see if I can get a massive let's play Leatherhead. Right. So anyway, we're just gonna. I don't want Taylor Crossdale to go, and now he's like twisting on. So anyway, we're gonna get the striker Jordan Brown. He's alright, isn't he? Is he better than Taylor Crossdale? Yeah, I think I like him. I think I'm going to try and sign him. If I sign him, I'll be happy to let the other guy go. So I've signed Babos. And Ladapo's gone to Chester. If the other guy arrives, I'll be happy to let him go. But anyway, guys, so as you can see, things are happening. We'll be back very soon for the next update. So I hope you enjoy that. And thanks for watching. I'll be back on with some snooker videos coming real soon. So thanks for watching, guys. Take good care of yourself.